as you guys know, a crazy 24 hours. First and foremost, for me, like, I got a massive amount of love for Mike. The fact that he kept me, and I've been able to learn so much from an incredible coach, develop and continue to learn. It's truly been a blessing for me. I think all you guys know, especially in this building, how I feel about my organization and the love and respect and appreciation that I have for them, and all the things that have transpired from when I first started to the present moment. So it's all about these guys in the locker room, the ability to continue to have them play at a high level. We've had some good conversations, and tonight is all about beating the Lakers.
Doug, you filled in a couple of games a few years ago. What can you draw from that experience that might help you in this transition?
Trust the people around you. Allow them to help you. Allow them to do their job. And that I leaned on them, and I'm going to lean on them as we go forward. And that goes with the players as well. That would probably be the biggest takeaway.
Hey, Doug, have you spoken to Mike? And if so, what was that talk like?
I have not spoken to Mike as of yet. You know, it's been a crazy 24 hours, and you guys know how fast this business works. It went from one thing to the next. So as of yet, no, I have not.
Doug, congrats on the post.
Thank you.
What was the gist of your message to the team on the plane before you guys flew to Los Angeles?
I would say more than anything, like, expectations of who I am and what I expect as a person and as a coach and as an individual, and dealing with them on a day-to-day basis. We compete at an extremely high level. That is one thing that we will not compromise, and letting them know that we just want to go out and we want to hoop and we want to win ball games. And that is the one thing that helps you do it. It does not guarantee it, but without it, you do not have a chance in this league, because this is the best league in the world, and winning games at this level is extremely hard. Yeah.
Hi, Doug. How would you just describe kind of the mood in the room over there right now? And then also, if you could speak to how you view this as both a challenge and an opportunity.
I think the mood is, I think they're in a good space. I'm hoping. I mean, my conversations with them are always extremely frank, and try to get the best out of them. That's whether I was doing my scouts or speaking to them individually, all of them, because I talk to every single one of them. I think there's a trust and a good vibe. How that translates, excuse me, onto the court is what we're going to see. Like the opportunity, this is the best league in the world. I mean, and through our organization, I am blessed to be a head coach of a team inside of the NBA, in a team that I love passionately. I mean, there's no bigger opportunity for me. At the same time, this is an extremely hard league. These players are great. And my job is to try to get them to play their best version of themselves, and that is going to be probably the biggest obstacle, because the opponent doesn't like you and they don't want you to win. So, yeah.
Doug, just two real quick. First off, I mean, I know what this organization means to you. I also know that you used to be a Laker and was in this as a player in a rivalry back in '02 and all that. I just wonder how fitting and poetic it is that you're going to get your start as a first game against the Lakers.
Good question, Sean. You always come with something. It was funny because when I left my room, I always go back to make sure I don't forget anything. So I went back, and as I looked out the window, and I was just like, wow, yeah, you're right. This is Los Angeles. It's a lot of history here. It's a lot of history in this building, in that hallway. And for it to be this team, yeah, it's wow. It's big time. And for me to be with my team, Yeah, you couldn't. I mean, we are in Hollywood, so you couldn't write up a better script, I don't think. How it turns out, whether it's a love story or a horror story, we don't quite know yet. We'll find out tonight in a little bit.
Yeah, and then just secondly, in terms of the overall shock, just how the news hit you, but overall, also wanting to accept the role that the organization laid in front of you to do this, because obviously it's something that you've wanted to check off your box.
It's tough, man, but this is the business that we're in, and this is what we signed up for from the time that I signed up as a player, from surgeries to being traded to a lot of different things. It's part of what we do. And maybe when you come in, you don't know that, but you learn it very quickly. And I think the same goes on this side. I mean, within the first 90 days of being a coach, I was the head coach for 5 games. So, like, it's a whirlwind. And the one thing that I know is I'm always willing and ready to step to the plate and compete and fight. And that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I'm going to make sure that our squad does.
Hey, Doug, to your
Yes,
left.
sir.
First, are you going to change the starting lineup that has been in place for the past few games?
No.
And in terms of you being the head coach now, like you worked with 3 assistants, or you were assistant under 3 head coaches already. Like, how is this like different? Like, what do you want to do to kind of put kind of your stamp on things versus not reinvent the whole wheel with how the team is playing?
It's just basketball is what it is. I mean, it's a super high level. There's a lot at stake, but the ability to keep them grounded and let them know that we're here to compete at a high level. We're here to do it together, and we want to do that every single night. Me trying to do something special is not what it's about. It's all about them. It's not about me. So I'm here as a conduit to try to get them to be the best version of themselves. That's really been my message to them, and I'm hoping that the compete level for them stays at an extremely high level every single night. That's the one thing that I can't vacillate on, and I think that they understand that.
Hey, what's going on, Coach?
How you doing, sir?
Can you talk about the energy right now? JJ has spoken there. There are certain changes in the organization. Like, guys get like a sudden boost of energy, or whatever. They get us excited. Can you talk about what's the energy right now?
I think the energy is always high because you understand that it's on us. Unfortunately, like I said, got mad amount of love for Mike, and the situation is unfortunate. Like, guys, where you at? And that energy is, I think, what you're speaking to. And I think it's high. How it translates onto the court, I mean, you never know. I've seen a lot of different things in this league. I've seen it happen good. I've seen it happen not so good. So from that standpoint, we're gonna have to wait and see. But I'm confident in my bunch.
Doug, obviously, we've worked together in multiple capacities. You've been on this side with us, and then in that chair, and now in the head chair. I know you're a very goal-oriented person.
Mm-hmm.
Have you put a lot of thought into, okay, as players, you have superpowers. One of yours is defense, right? Mm-hmm. Have you thought about what you want at the end of the day, your coaching superpower to be, the one thing that if you set a goal, this is what you want to impart?
No, I haven't, but I would think that one thing that I try to be is a leader of men, and trying to galvanize them to come together, because as individuals we're 5 pieces, but when we come together we're a fist, and that's what I want them to understand. We come to do what we do. But up and beyond that, no, because it's been a crazy 24 hours.
I asked Malik this morning what this team was lacking compared to the teams of the last couple seasons that had so much success, and you just pointed to late game execution. I think your guys' record, games decided about 5 points or less, is towards the bottom of the league. How do you maximize this group when you have De'Aaron and DeMar are both one of the best individual closing players in the league.
I think, to me, it's simple. Having played this game, I think I understand that aspect, and that's putting great players in the best position to be successful. We're going to make or miss shots. It's just what happens. Like, sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't. We get in the gym, we work, we sharpen our tools, we go again, we sharpen our tools. Like, are they prepared for the moment? Absolutely. Sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't. And especially with those two, I know that they're prepared. So we put them in the position and let them do what they do and get out of their way and say, do it. 2 years ago, he's the #1 clutch player in the NBA. Sometimes they go in and sometimes they don't. I have ultimate confidence in those two. Like, anytime I give them the ball and say, do your thing, because more times than not, it's going to happen. And you're right, it hasn't happened, but it will.